You're going to be very happy you came here this morning. We have the choir and a special guest. Welcome.
Shall I introduce our special guest? Yes.
Very strong and a great way to start the day. Very nice, very nice. Good morning, everyone. It's been a beautiful morning so far. And I'm Reverend Dr. Mary Mitchell, and I'm serving as a practitioner and MC today. And if you need a prayer after service, I'll be there. Christy will be there, and probably Shirley too. So we'd love to do some prayer work with you. If you're new, we know and believe and offer to you inspiration and empowerment to help you live a spiritually fulfilling life. And these days, it's really helpful. It's really helpful. So anyway, we'd like to invite the children up right now. And as they come, we'd like you to turn and wave to all the people out there in the world. And I watched this the other day at home, and I thought, you can really see everybody. It's really great. So give a big wave out. So God. I hold you in my arms. done, nicely done. All right, if you're new with us today, we would love to bring you a friendship packet. Anyone new? Want to raise your hand? No? All right, well, they're on the back wall. They're the blue packet on the back wall if you'd like to take one. And if you have a cell phone, if you would put it in airplane mode, we'd appreciate that. All right, I have some focus announcements. Kat, would you like to come up and do the first one? It sounds like a really wonderful program.
So in the dream, I'm in a house that's my house, although I don't recognize it. And I wake up anxious, feeling that someone's trying to break in. And I peek around, and I see that actually several doors and windows are being opened. And young men, streetwise, young, lithe, athletic, really different than me, these young men are coming into this house, and I'm terrified because they're here to rob me or hurt me, who knows what. And then, out of nowhere, food and drink appears, and music, and they start to have a party. And I look around tentatively, and someone sees me, and I come forward, just a little bit. And then I think, I have no idea how to join these young men. But they're encouraging me, and I'm awkward, and I'm trying to dance, and it's not great. But suddenly I think, maybe I could learn something from who they are and how they are in the world. And that dream has stayed with me for a long time. So I want to invite you to join me and others in a 5-week class starting on Wednesday, officially starting at 6:30. I'll be there at 6. We'll explore dreams. We'll make dream art. We'll look at how all dreams come, every dream, with a gift to bring you more health, more wholeness, more of you in your life. And I'd love to see you there. Sign up is in the foyer.
That sounds fascinating, especially if you have recurring dreams. It would be fun to explore those. All right. The Tao of Watercolor, Painting the Effects of Luster in Watercolor with Sharian Wyndham, starts Wednesday, February 22nd, 1 to 4 p.m. Speak the Truth, Steve Shems Smith, Friday, February 24, 79. Speak your truth, poetry and prose. Sing, speak, or play your tune, your poetry, your stories, your songs, your comedy. Share with all of us the talent and the things that you love to do. Beads, beads, and more beads. Christy, would you like to talk about this, or no? Okay. Anyway, she's having great success with her beading class, and it's Saturday, February 25th is the next one, 1 to 4 p.m. Christy and Kristen will supply all that you need to make gorgeous necklaces and whatever, but the people are just loving it. The other thing I'm reminded of, and I forgot, is there is a tip jar up here for the choir. The choir doesn't get any income other than when they sell something or sing something or make you feel good. And so in order to bring better music for the choir and special guests, there's a tip jar afterwards. If you'd like to throw a couple bucks in, that would be great. All right, and just in case you don't know, the Good News Rescue Mission Homeless Shelter is hosting a forum on strategies to reduce homelessness. It's called Reading Restart, Addressing Homelessness. It's scheduled for March 3rd at the Convention Center, excuse me, from 8 in the morning to noon. If you would like to be part of that. If you don't know, we have quite a homeless issue coming here. We're on the pathway up the creek and down the street, and it's a challenge because of the things they leave behind, including sometimes themselves. So we probably will have several people going to that. All right now I'd invite Lori up to do the reading, and then we'll invite the bell 3 times to take that reading in. And then I'll do a spiritual mind treatment, and then Reverend Sue will do her lesson on, now this will be interesting, the world is an oyster. Ponder that. Lori?
So today's story is one that supports today's topic. There once was a man who walked his dog every Sunday morning around a lake near his home. Week after week, he saw the same elderly woman sitting at the edge of the water with a small metal cage next to her. The man's curiosity finally got the best of him, and he approached the woman one day. He noticed that the cage was actually a small trap, and she had 3 small turtles in it. In her lap, there was a 4th turtle that she was carefully wiping down with a sponge. The man greeted her and said, "If you don't mind my asking, what do you do with these turtles every week?" She smiled and explained to him that she was cleaning their shells because any algae or scum that builds up on a turtle's shell reduces its ability to absorb heat and slows down their swimming. It can also corrode their shell and weaken it over time. The man was impressed as the woman continued, "I do this every Sunday morning to help the turtles." "But don't most turtles live their entire lives with algae on their shells?" the man asked. The woman agreed that was true. He replied, "Well, then you're kind to do this, but are you really making a difference if most turtles don't have people around to clean their shells?" The woman laughed as she looked down at the small turtle on her lap. "Young man, if this little turtle could talk, he would say, 'I am making all the difference in the world.'"
Let's take a deep breath in. As you settle into your seats, I invite you to join with me in knowing that God is all there is. One light, one presence, one power, one divinity. It is in everything. It moves through everything, as everything. This ever-evolving, ever-expanding presence is all there is, and I know that I am one with that presence. I know that I speak my word for each person here today, each person listening, that we are loved beyond measure. And I know that as Reverend Sue speaks today, that we open up to and invite Spirit to unlatch our hearts to see our true self through the creative spirit of love, as it reveals options for our experiences that we never realized before. We step back as the love of God shines its light on what we have experienced, giving us an objective view of the abundances we have available in our life. As we ask ourselves, what more do I need to know? Bringing not just a new aspect in our spiritual practice, but in all intersections of life with others, bringing love and peace all over the world. And in this knowing, I give thanks for the loving message Reverend Sue has for us today and our willingness to hear it. I realize and let go, knowing this to be true and already done. And together we say, and so it is.
There. Let me just explain why I gimp around. I have a bursitis in my hip, and I found out I have a sister here on the stage that has one on her other hip, so the two of us might just lean on each other. Yeah, so good morning. Yeah, I am always so tickled pink when I get to do a talk with the choir as the backup for, actually, I don't think they're the backup. I think I'm the backup for them, honestly. So this, the whole month we're looking at curiosity as the superpower. And this is an odd topic. The world is an oyster. And I sat with that all week and absolutely nothing was coming. And I thought, yeah, that's okay. I can understand there's a pearl of wisdom, and I was doing all that, but that was it. I had like 3 sentences. So I dug deeper, and I found a Rumi quote that starts us off. What strikes the oyster shell does not damage the pearl. So he must have had an intuition that one day I would be talking about this. But also, Suryadas, a Buddhist spiritual teacher, says, the pearl principle, no inner irritation, no pearl. Wisdom. So that's why you can see when we frame this talk, this message that we would love to receive today for our awareness to blossom in a deeper way. It also aligns with what Lori read as a reminder that each of us has the potential inside of us to be that catalyst, to be the catalyst for the change that we want to see in the world. And there is a potential in each and every one of us to be in service to the world. And so we have to be curious enough to find out what is ours to do, and we have to be brave enough to do it. So look deep today into your everyday experiences and discover the pearl of truth that dwells within you. Choose to open now. Choose to open at this time of life, because you have been polishing this gem, this longing inside of you for a very long time. And now we can open to whatever it is, we can open. Now, I was recently this week talking to JB here in the front. Let me point to him. He's sitting with me as we are exploring living the science of mind. We go sentence by sentence exploring it. And I was recalling on something that we read, the history of something that happened in the center a long time ago, and I know there are some groupies here that were part of that experience. And it was the movie Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon. Remember that? Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon, right? And it was played at many of the family retreats. And it's a story of St. Francis, and there is a scene that he comes upon a completely weathered little chapel. It's torn down in the meadow. It only has maybe one and a half walls remaining, a few benches that are all torn up. And so he was caught, though, by a vision. He was caught by a vision. And he took that and began to rebuild it, stone by stone. Do you remember that? Stone by stone. It's a Donovan song within that movie. And I have loved that song. I've watched that movie many, many times. I ended up purchasing the movie because every time I watched it, I would identify with a different character. And I would look at my life through that character's acting. So it had a personal meaning to my family, especially. And so whenever we found something that inspired us, we would often say, well, stone by stone, stone by stone. And the excitement, what it could be, what is motivating us. And then we realize also the other ingredients are patience. Patience and perseverance are the qualities that then we have to call upon in order to follow through when it's not so much fun, when it feels really tedious, when it's annoying. So you realize even with those irritations that surface in any project, any vision, that we are transforming it by coating it with the essence of the original divine image or grace that inspired us, and we carry on. That is why being curious about the oyster fits into our message today. And I was sharing with Charlie on the way here. I said, I'm sort of sorry that I kind of looked into some of the things about an oyster because I kind of got sickened, but I'm going to tell you the good parts. So oysters have been around approximately 15 million years. Fact check. An oyster becomes an adult when it turns 1 year old and can live up to 20 years. They can change their sex, and they will do that often, more than once. The oyster breathes like a fish. They have gills. Oysters are, here's my vegetarian. They eat algae by filtering it out of the water. A single adult oyster can filter up to 50 gallons of water a day. Isn't that phenomenal? Okay, and now the pearl. The pearl is formed when a grain of sand slips in between the mantle and the shell of an oyster. Am I saying that right? Oyster. That's not it. Oyster. Oh, gosh. Can we start this film all over? I'll probably continue to mispronounce it now that I'm stuck on that. But that creates the irritation in the oyster, then carefully coats the grain layer by layer with nacre. It's called a substance nacre, also called mother of pearl. This mineral substance is also used to create its outer shell. So the mother of pearl is believed to have stress-relieving properties to it, bringing calmness, stimulates intuition and creativity. To further the metaphor, mother of pearl in all our relationships is forgiveness, understanding, empathy, and compassion. So the message that we look at today is to hear that we are presented almost daily with irritants from the world, and they're calling our attention. They're calling our attention, and we usually settle them. If they are important to us, they will settle deep into your heart. And that's where the processing starts to carry on. That inner work where we start laying down and layering our essence, our truth, our soul essence to polish it. And that's called love. And layer by layer, we start to process, stone by stone, we start to process this irritant inside of our being. So that transforms it all into a pearl, into a beautiful pearl of greater understanding and great wisdom. And it takes also the fire of our emotions to sometimes really process what gets in our way, and that we let just start to come in and circle around inside of us that keeps us awake at night. And all of this important stuff, it's all going to settle in your heart. That's the place where the truth is revealed. And it takes passion, and it takes our spiritual work as we heat that shell that binds us to open, and reveal a pearl of wisdom. Ernest Holmes, love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself. The essence of love pervades everything, fires the heart, and renews the soul. The spark which burns at the center of our soul, is caught from the living and eternal flame of God. So we treat. We affirm our truth. We walk our talk. We forgive. We love. We let go. We release. We are meant to feel. We are human beings that are meant to feel, and we're meant to respond to the discomforts. All of the irritants in our lives are there. They aren't fun. They're not fun experiences, but we can't afford to ignore them. They're there to wake us up. So just as the oyster uses what it can within its own inner resources to alter the irritant, to polish it, to soothe it, to transform it, then we can too. We can too. We've got that greater intelligence. We can transform by using those divine tools that are already lying deep inside of us. Our divine ability is to soothe the suffering that we see. That is the divine essence. That is love in action. And again, Ernest Holmes says, we do not change all the patterns of thought in a moment. Rather, it takes place little by little, stone by stone, until gradually the old thought patterns become transformed into new ones by some inner alchemy of the mind. Nature will not let us stay in any one place too long. Nature demands the change in order that we may advance. When the change comes, we should welcome it with a smile on our lips and a song in the heart, stone by stone. Choir, can I hear like a hallelujah or something? There you go. Another one. What do you think there? Pretty good, huh? Gwen's nodding. Gwen, by the way, you're having a great ponytail day. Yes. It's so beautiful. I mean, show it off, girl. There you go. I was admiring it up here. When I put my hair in a ponytail, I keep thinking, my hair's getting long, and then I put it on, it's like a little shaving brush that's really old. Anyway, I digress. So we can't afford to underestimate our value in all of this, of our actions in the world. That's what I want to take us to. Because we can be the change we want to see. We've heard that. We've seen that on bumper stickers. But it can all seem so overwhelming at times. We feel so small in our individuality. But it takes just that one effort that'll start to grow and allow others to it'll be a contagion, and others will be drawn to you to want to help as well. And so the repeated patterns of suffering that we have witnessed, and I think it seems so more overwhelming because of all the way the media can present it to us. And it can feel hopeless at times. But every time when it feels really hopeless, as I think about the earthquake still in Syria and Turkey, and then they show that little baby that lasted 150 some hours under the rubble, that little bruised, dirty face just coming out of there and just looking around, I'm alive. And you realize how precious our life is. And all of the dogs and the people that have worked tirelessly to help save lives one by one. And it's all important. So we allow our actions to be authentically aligned with our thinking, our words aligned with our intentions out there for love, for healing. We feel into what is in our personal world. We really want to take notice of it and let higher wisdom be that which is guiding us along. You never can change things by fighting the existing reality. This is Buckminster Fuller. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. We can do that. And so what would that look like to you? I think you know. I think you all know on some deep level. What you're aware of right now is in there, and it's awakening in you. Just notice. If you're not quite sure, just notice what's irritating you. Really, take it in, not try to get away from the irritation. Look inside, look deep inside, and see what's mirrored back to you. What's making you angry? What do you resent? What's holding you back? You know that. There was a clever Stephen King wisdom that he shared in a lecture when he was writing his memoirs. It is the dab of grit that seeps into an oyster shell that makes the pearl, not pearl-making seminars with other oysters. Such brilliance. I know I use a lot of quotes, but I think they're so brilliant. They say more than anything I could ever say. And classes can certainly help us find our way, outline our way, and help spark a vision, but ultimately, we have to move our own feet. We have to get in there and take action. And so, returning to the oyster, it takes 6 months to form the pearl, and it continues to fine-tune it. And so we can do that too. We can turn within. We know that we're meant to live a life of joy, a deep, personal, abiding joy. Satya, Santosha, all of these words of beautiful, abiding joy, truth, these principles that are echoing in our heart space, this pure, ever-flowing joy. And we also know that living our life and experiencing life on so many levels hasn't been easy, and it has not been without pain. And we can't just dismiss that as it was meant nothing. We turn our faces to the wind and accept that this is a storm we must pass through. Desmond Tutu and his Book of Joy. We cannot succeed by denying what exists. So looking within, I keep pointing back to that, it'll bring us to a new understanding and a knowing that in the center of all life, in the center of our life, there is the truth of love, an eternal fountain of this love. And it's not purposely hiding from us. It's just cluttered up with dust of the irritations that we have failed to clean up along the way. And so now, today, from this day forward, may we call forth the powers of the heart to help us forgive, to shine compassion on those moments where we were unskillful. We have the opportunity here to polish up our own unskillful ways and the unskillful ways of others. These are the qualities of our heart. They beat inside of us to melt down resistance. Our spiritual insights are so important, so valuable. These are the gifts of Spirit. So when we look inward, we find this treasure, we find this pearl, and we know it's innately ours. Our name is scripted upon that pearl. It's a direct knowing, and it will speak to you and not be an obligation that others have put upon you. You will know your own concerns. You will know what leads you. So all the while you're doing that, there will be that time where the many voices start to come up inside of you. We're aware that we're a mixture, if we're really honest with ourselves, of dark and light, of positive and not so positive. We know what's inside of us that appears to be failing. We can hear ourselves say, "Oh, I just love that." And then in the next breath, we can also silently be shamed, probably, that we're saying, "I hate that. I don't like that." And that could be so many different things. We get divided. And sometimes we just feel divided in that heart space. Yet on a deeper level, go higher. Go into that higher consciousness where prayer, meditation, silence, stillness will invite you in. Let it open to you, all of it. Let it open you to the wisdom. Be tender as you journey in life. Be tender as you polish your pearl. But dive in deep. Dive deep, because the truth will be revealed and you personally can trust it. So I'm going to be closing with some of Mark Nepo's wisdom. We can only see as far into the world as we can see into ourselves. That's why we have to look within, deep within, and polish the pearls to clarity, so we can truly behold one another in a new light, with a new heart, with a clear vision. We can see a string of pearls that just wrap around this world that's called humanity. Rumi says, "How could you reach the pearl by only looking at the sea? If you seek the pearl, be a diver." So in a few moments, I'm going to be playing a song as Lindy and Joey cue it up. But Mark Nepo can take us home into this message. As individuals and in community, this is the goal of wholeheartedness. That's what we've been talking about. to admit our failings, our limitations, our darker impulses, and enfold them into a complete effort to restore in this world kindness and unity. This is a timeless task about which we have much to learn, but we can begin by accepting that we can ignore, censure, or exile parts of our humanity or our community without suffering for pushing parts of ourselves into the darkness. We can begin by accepting our full humanity while holding each other accountable for what we do and helping each other repair the torn seams of this world. And I repeat, we can only see as far into the world as we can into ourselves. So I'm going to have, I want you just to settle into your heart as Lindy and Joy play this song. And then I'm going to have them kind of dampen it down as we say a prayer. Remember who you are.
Slowly, do few things but do them well. Heartfelt work grows purely. If you want to live life free, take your time, go slowly. Do few things but do them well. Heartfelt work grows purely. Day by day, stone by stone, build your secret slowly. Day by day, you'll grow too, you'll know heaven's glory. If you want your dream to be, take your time, go slow. Take your time, go slow. Do few things, but do them well. But heartfelt work grows pure. If you want to live life free, take your time, go slow. Take your time, go slow. Do few things, but do them well. Heartfelt work grows purely. Day by day, stone by stone, build your secret slowly.
There is only one.
Day by day, you'll grow
One powerful, all-encompassing love that is inspiring each one of us now. Whether you are healing from a heartbreak, a loss, a disappointment, build yourself back slowly, stone by stone. Love will do that. Love will support you and fill in the seams of the broken heart. You will only discover a greater love at the end of the journey. Stone by stone, moment by moment, let love win. And if you are ready to be out in service in the world, take it one step at a time. And remember to allow the final thought that you breathe when you feel the disappointment is to bring it back to an offering of love, to a sincerity of your heart, that you're doing the best that you can, and it's making a difference for that which is sitting in your own lap as you polish the shell, as you polish what has happened in our world, and you take each moment with such sincere hope and earnest desire to make a difference in this world, to be a part of the change, to be a voice of love to let your footsteps be so empowered by this truth that you never, never give up, and that every night you fall asleep and you bless this world. You bless humanity. You bless all the living creatures. You bless all the elements, the earth, the air, the water. It's all important. We're all leaning into each other to save one another. So thank you, God, for the wisdom of the oyster, to recognize that within each one of us, that pearl of truth is beaming brightly, shining a light from our heart out into the world. Stone by stone, we make a difference, and we never give up. I release this word knowing the truth, walking the truth, loving the truth. And together we all say, and so it is. Thank you. And now you're in for a real treat with the choir. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And Gwen, if you could stand at the microphone and introduce your guest, our guest, so that the people at home can hear her name as well. Oh, she's not performing yet? Oh, we're so excited.
I know, that's why in the beginning I was like,
You're going to be so well known when this is over.
I'll do it anyway.
Okay.
Not quite yet, but soon, Lisa Forster will accompany the Hartsonga Choir. But now we'll have another song by the Hartsonga Choir.
Yet the world has its way.
Wonderful. So, may I have the ushers come forward, please? Okay. As I prepare to give my offering, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I am filled with gratitude, knowing that life stays in balance, for as I give, I receive. I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and during the week. I know each dollar supports the spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always, and so it is. Okay, choir.
So today we welcome wonderful artist Lisa Forster with the Hartsonga Choir as we bring What a Wonderful World to you. So we prepared it special for this day. It's a wonderful world.
Wasn't that worth all the announcements of how powerful they were going to do? Some of us were here early, got to hear them practicing. I think that's why we were so eager. But thank you so much. I hope you come again. And I could feel that in my heart. I could feel that in my heart and in my gut. Yeah, awesome sound. So just a brief announcement. Charlie and I are heading out tomorrow for a conference with the Center for Spiritual Living in the wild town of Santa Rosa. So we'll be gone for a couple of days. And Mary, I hope I can call upon you if you have any pressing needs to speak to a minister. Please contact Dr. Mary while we're gone. And otherwise, enjoy the social hall today and maybe talk about a vision you have. Maybe bring a voice to it and start to live your dream. So blessings on your day, and thank you for showing up today and being a part of the energy here. And choir, and Gwen. And the hallelujah. And the hallelujah. Let's hear it, all of you. Hallelujah. Enjoy your day. Thank you.